And Nate just pulled in. Ah, thank you.
So we're being recorded now?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
Thanks, Bill.
let's go ahead and get this meeting started because we don't have a lot to go over, and that type of stuff. Got some older, newer business we got to talk about and everything else. Since Nathan's not here, has anybody looked at the meeting minutes from last month?
I know I am.
I like them.
Is there any corrections to the meeting minutes from last month?
Well, I think the one thing I noticed was they had Curtis as a non-member. The members and non-members that were in attendance looked like it was all mixed up, for what it's worth.
We can try to figure that out and clean it up.
That was the only thing I noticed that was a little strange.
Okay. Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll just approve them with correction. Can I get a second on that?
Motion to approve the minutes with corrections. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good.
Okay.
Just approve the minutes.
Okay. Is KD0DK, Dave, are you on board?
Yes, I am.
If you would please do the treasurer's report, that'd be marvelous.
All right. 20 minutes. Nate just got here. You want to give him a minute to get set up? We're recording the Zoom. Okay. All right. Beginning balance for the savings account and the ending balance remains the same at $1,090.18. The share draft account beginning, this is for January. The beginning balance in January was $1,927.86. We took in $40 in dues. I wrote 2 checks in the month, $100 check to the Salvation Army, that was per club vote. And I reimbursed Mark and Karen Colby $8.99 for the logging software for winter field day. So the ending balance for January was $1,878.87.
Okay. I move it, we accept the treasurer's report. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Perfect.
Aye.
Consensus?
I joined the
Okay.
meeting. I joined the meeting by phone. I can't get my computer to work.
All right, thanks, Brenda.
Okay.
Katie's our IDF is not going to be a phone.
That's okay. I'm doing it by phone too. Okay, let's keep moving here. We do have some new business to put in front of the club. The VE test group, because of changes in how they do their work and business, we can do it all online and everything else. But here's the caveat. We need either a debit card or a credit card for the VE test group to use exclusively, so we can do the ARRL thing with a credit card. So I'm going to ask Dave, KD0DK, do you have any heartburn with that at all? You're the treasurer.
I guess we can make it work, just as long as I know what's being spent. Yeah. Basically, what will happen is every time we test, just before it goes through, there will be a deposit equal to or just a little bit more than what's being spent.
What I thought, Dave, is if we set up a third account just for that debit card, then we wouldn't have to worry about the VE group impacting at all the club, but it'd be under the club's name.
I'm no CPA or expert in these things. I'm assuming we can make it work.
Okay. Now, let's throw this open to discussion. Does anybody have any issues, insights, or anything like that on this process?
Yeah, this is Stan.
Yes, Stan.
What I would suggest we do is instead of having a debit card, make it an honest to goodness Visa card through the credit union. And the reason for that is if there is some fraud, you're much better protected with a real live credit card than you are with a debit card.
Okay.
Yeah, because Viridian's really good about dropping or about catching stuff from other states.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Stan makes a good point.
So-
Example of the Viridian Credit Union's watchfulness is Dave Barry got a phone call several years ago from the credit union asking him if he just bought a television set in the Ukraine. He says, "What? No." And it says, folks at the credit union says, "That's what we thought. We canceled your card, canceled the transaction, and come in and pick up your new card."
Yep, how good they are.
That happened to me too.
Okay.
Except I was buying, of all things, a English thing in Lebanon.
I was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rosetta Stone for English. Yeah. Okay. In that case, how about if I get with Dave and Dave and I talk about this, we try to figure out the best way to get this done.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds good. I'll have to go with you probably to Viridian to set it up anyway.
Okay. So, Dave, I'll get with you. We'll try to figure out an easy way to get all this taken care of. And basically, what I'm going to do is we'll ask Viridian what their suggestions are.
All right.
Al,
Okay. Yes.
Yes, Ben?
my suggestion would be to have a cap limit on that Visa credit card.
Why? Yeah, definitely. Because we're never going to have more than a $400
Okay,
expense ever.
thank you.
Yeah. And in fact, Mark, can you ever see us being anywhere close to that?
We've hit $200 before. So
Yeah. So
at
200.
$15 times 20 is 300. So we've
300.
hit over 300 before.
So probably 500 would probably be the littlest you could go.
Well, 500 would cover us for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm just saying that with Viridian, that's probably 500 and up.
But we want to definitely have the cap.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you can get
Okay, guys.
prepaid cards as well that have limits that are even lower than that for kids.
Yeah, but seems as we've had 30 people test at one point in time, and that's $450.
Right, so 500 is probably a good cap.
I think, yeah, we're not going to.
I don't see us doing 30 people again anytime soon.
No, but
No.
for it to be there in case you do have.
Okay.
And if we do that, we can adjust stuff, you know. Okay.
All right.
Let me think. Okay. So, Dave, I'll get with you. We'll try to get this figured out and get it all pulled. But it gets kind of ridiculous when we've got to, swap money and do this all the time.
Well, it takes ARL forever to take money out of somebody's account. Like, I couldn't believe the snail's pace it took them to process things.
That takes about 24.
Yeah.
Oh, it was longer than that.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
We need a motion.
So,
Probably. We
Okay,
should
we have
probably vote, Al.
All in favor of establishing a credit/debit card for the DE group for purposes of paying for the tests? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? None?
good. That will cure us of some headaches.
Yes.
And that will be specifically, now, Mark, since you're the VE test head, we may need to borrow you to have you do the signature.
Okay. I'll be available on Friday.
Well, we may not have it done by then, but we'll see. Okay. Now,
Repeater
I'm gonna
status?
go through feet. What?
Should we go over repeater status?
Well, we're gonna do repeater status, but we're gonna do repeater status. I was gonna kind of save it to last because it was kind of the cute caveat.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Let's discuss Winter Field Day if we can a little bit.
Okay.
Winter Field Day was, as far as I'm concerned, was kind of a win-lose. We pulled it off. We had, a good time and everything else. But the problem is, A, we didn't have people that would run at night, which didn't really surprise a lot of us. And then the other thing is the cabin was nice, warm, and snuggly, but it was small. So you had a little bit of trouble bumping into people, if you follow what I'm saying.
I don't think that we
So-
made efficient use of the space. We probably could
Why
have,
did I miss that?
Nate said it doesn't think we used the space that we had efficiently, which I would agree.
the bunk beds were all.
Yeah, we did not use anything efficiently.
But
Yeah.
for the first year doing it, we learned a lot.
I think we had a slam dunk for the first year we were doing it. That's my personal opinion. So, I thought that was a huge victory that we pulled her off. Okay, now let's go through repeater status. I'm gonna say mine's still up and going. I'm gonna let Mark, since Mark kind of spearheaded it and everything else, talk about the club's repeaters.
All right, well, I'll talk about one of the club repeaters. The 444-975 repeater is now online out at Camp Iguanas. We have measured output power at 60 watts. No, yeah, 60 watts.
Yeah, 60 watts going to the antenna.
Going out to the antenna. So it's in place at Camp Iguanas. It's running. We had a little hiccup with transporting it out there that we rectified on site. Al tested it on his way down. He was able to bring it up around just south of Rhinebeck, Hilltopping. I know that Dave was on it in Waverly and going to his place. So we need to do some testing on that, see what kind of range we get on it with proper antennas on vehicles, because I don't have a proper antenna in mind for 70 centimeters right now. Our potential coverage area is, we should be able to get up close to Charleston, potentially.
I was hilltopping it when I was coming down to pick up Joe. And I actually, at the Dinsdale asphalt, I could actually hit it solid, but I was hilltopping. And then I also heard it on Highway 96 ID. So it gets out. But that little 60, but it's also, what?
It's got lungs.
Yeah, it's got some good lungs. It's got some good ears too.
That should be free from interference.
Yeah.
And it helps that it has inch plus hard line going to it.
And we're able to tune the antenna to 1.08 to 1 for on the transmit side. So
we're sitting pretty. Now, okay. I know the 9.4 repeater's up and going. I know the 8.2 repeater is up and going. And I know that Curtis's 222.6 machine is also up and going.
Al, Carol has a question.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, comparatively speaking, how does the UHF compare distance-wise to VHF?
Okay. Here's my problem. Harold, are you sitting in the room with the computer?
Yes, he is. He's far from it though.
Yeah, he's got to move closer to the computer.
He was asking what the difference in distance between the VHF and UHF repeaters.
Difference between the VHF and the UHF
Yeah, for distance.
for distance? VHF repeaters tend to follow the ground a little better. They're not as line of sight-ish. So to be real honest, the VHF repeater can actually reach out, and Brenda can get it from Grinnell.
Mhm.
We can't get the UHF from Grinnell. And the other thing is with the height advantage of our VHF repeater is going to reach out for probably about 20 miles more, or 30.
So,
But the water tower shields the VHF repeater to the north a little bit. So this should have its best shot north.
this will definitely basically covers the entire Bremen County, except for the very southeast corner of it. Is where it should do real well.
To answer your question, Harold.
And how, well, let's say I was coming back from Mason City
Mm-hmm.
on 218, Green 218 by Charleston.
You should, once you're south of Charles City, you should be able to with a good mobile antenna, bring up that repeater, no problem.
Okay, what's repeater?
The 444-975. The 94, you kind of lose toward not too right around why can't I think of the name? Why can't I think of Joe's town name right now?
Playing
Clarksville.
Clarksville.
Oh, Clarksville.
We pretty much lose the 9-4 at Nashua.
Yeah.
Low checks in on 9-4.
Yeah.
So you have to get up on the bridge there, which is a high ground.
Right.
Right.
But,
Right.
you gotta get a lot of playing field before you're solid.
Well, there's Lowell now. He's on Zoom.
Hey, Lowell.
Yes. I can only get in when I'm out on the overpass because Nashua kind of sits in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've just got a 20-foot Ringo Ranger
Okay.
at home.
Do you have UHF capabilities?
No,
Okay. You should get some
We're
UHF
going to ask you to try.
capabilities.
We're
That
going to
way
ask
you
you to
can-
try the new repeater.
Yeah. So, yeah, the new repeater is up online. It's also a fusion, but it's not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
So,
So if you guys hear digital noise on it, don't worry about it. It is digital and analog.
All right.
There's the PL tone, I'm assuming there's no PL tone transmitting when it's doing digital. So if people are hearing digital noise on their VHF,
yeah,
they
on
can just,
the UHF.
on the UHF, so they can just turn on their receive PL tone.
Yep.
And if it bothers you, just make your thing so it does PL receive and transmit, and you won't hear the digital at all.
Yep. And they,
Just your tone encode.
go ahead.
If you just make it so your tone is encode and decode, you won't even notice it.
So as soon as we finalize some information, Nate, we'll get that to you so you can get a repeater report needed.
Sure.
It has some power output, the antenna gain, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Exact GPS location.
Yep, all that good stuff.
So, and there's only going to be authorized people to go on site to work on the repeater at the scout camp. It's going to be me, Al, and Curtis. At this point in time, Nate, you're going to be added to that list since you're the chief, the custodian of the call. So the thing is when you go on site, we're going to give scout office at least 24 hours notice before we go in. We're going to have a second person with us, and those are going on site. The lead person will be youth protection trained. That way, we're in compliance with the scouts.
That's free, by the way.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Youth protection? It's the training that the scout program came up with to help prevent abuse.
Bullying, etc.
I got the idea. I got the umbrella what you're talking about.
Yep, it's just a certification kind of thing, and it's a free thing. They
And
don't
it's,
charge.
it's renewed every 2 years.
Okay, do we have an agreement of some type with
Yes,
whoever?
yes, we do. That's why we went in. And part of the agreement with that is we're also going to provide classes for those people that are going to be working in camp to get their amateur radio license and help them with getting on the air. So.
Yep.
So that's where we're going to have to schedule up trainings for them. So. And it probably will be coming closer. I know they're going to start hiring people come April, I think. So we're probably going to have a test April into May because they're going to start going on site end of June. Our next VE test session is April 9th. So.
Really?
Mhm. Just about 2 months away. Just under.
Time flies quickly.
Yes.
I guess.
So is there anything else, Al?
Not to my knowledge on that thing, not at this point.
Okay. Any other questions about repeaters? Okay. Next topic.
I was gonna say, I don't really know what the next topic would be. We don't really have any old business anymore. We've kind of cleaned that barrel out, which
Yeah.
is good.
I have a piece of semi-old business.
Okay, lay it on us, Dan.
I have two 12-volt power supplies that will be given to the first person who shows up in my driveway with their trunk open.
Okay,
They're made by Lambda and they're not very big. They're not boat anchors.
okay.
What's the current on them?
What's that?
What's the power output? 12 volts, what's the current?
Oh, I think one of them is 2 amps and the other one is somewhere in that same neighborhood.
Okay, about 2 amps.
Yeah. One of them is set up to be used as a battery charger. It's got a diode to prevent the battery discharging into the power supply and a resistor added to measure the current. They're just superficially attached and can be removed. They're adjustable voltage. So if you want to have them sitting around running a 2-meter rig or something of that nature, they'd be fine for that.
Yep.
If nobody claims them, they're going to go in metal recycling.
Okay.
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 All right.
Okay, I've got one thing going.
Okay.
Okay, even though this is winter, sub-zero, we've got to start getting into field day in June.
Yep.
And last month, I sent out a questionnaire kind of thing, giving 6 different headings. And I'd like to signing onto those various slots.
I don't remember seeing that.
I don't remember seeing that either.
When was it set up? Mine is dated here January 8th.
Okay, and
Let me check my email, Harold, and see if.
who did you send that to?
I sent that to Nathan.
Ah,
Ah. So Nate sent it out to everybody else, correct?
Says field day help needed and more Zoom info.
I know, that's been a while, though. I remember sending that out.
Yeah, I'm going back to January to see.
But we've got Jim come out here quickly. And we need to start filling those slots.
That was the.
At least tentatively.
Yep, he did. Nate sent it out on January 18th at 4:32 p.m. Yes, you did.
I know it's down.
Okay, good to know.
The area,
Yeah, I have the list.
okay,
So the areas that Harold's looking for is equipment and supplies, setup and takedown, food and prep, and food prep, operators and operating times, health and safety, public affairs, media, greeting the public, areas of operation, voice, code, and digital. So that's kind of what that's the list. Nate, maybe we can spend on that.
Well, I'm hoping it won't be that much. For more than a day, so.
Well, that would be good.
but we're going to get it at Hickory Hills. We have a shelter there reserved already.
okay.
And we can be there from, I don't have my form with me, but roughly 8:30 a.m. until like 8:30 p.m.
Oh, we're going to be there to 8:30 p.m.?
Well, we can be there until 10 o'clock. That's the hours I put down here. I don't have my reservation form with me.
So we're not doing it overnight.
Right.
I think Dave's looking for something. You want help, Dave? Got it?
Oh.
Okay.
That for Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, usually
Yeah,
it is.
it usually is. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Last fall we.
Nah, I don't think we can get it to share out properly that way.
So let me see those.
Read it.
I was gonna say, just read it. Yes, we have the shelter from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So we have to be out by 10 p.m. according to this. And we can be there as early as 7 a.m.
Our setup doesn't start until 10, so.
I wanted us to have plenty of time to get set up.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Early in the morning is good. So that's fine.
Yeah, that reminds me, we're also gonna have to go help with Nate, go through the solar charger to identify and fix any damages going on.
I think I got that taken care of, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
those are, dealing with appear to address the problem.
Okay. We just also gotta go through the laptop chargers
Thank you.
for make sure that there's no birdies there.
The issue, there's two different ways that it can come in. It can come in through power wires, which can just come in through the air. Power wires have got settled, so over the air, it may be a different problem.
So we, you know,
But that's a great
My
spot to
is
be.
down. We got to keep it up that.
And
oh, God.
you gotta figure out, figure out how many stations we're gonna run too.
It's a huge shelter
Okay.
with a kitchenette.
Oh.
Screwed up the really transfer.
It's one of the enclosed shelters?
Yeah,
That's an enclosed shelter.
but the only other better banner shelter out there is one that they would use for gatherings. It's like, the best one out there can hold up to 250 people.
Wow.
The one that we were going to be in, I believe capacity is 150 people.
Okay,
All right.
There's a kitchenette in there. It's, well, Janet's been out there as a big.
okay.
Wow.
Oh,
All right. Cool. Bring her full. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Just as a matter of fact, I've gone out there a couple of times. Take my mask off, of course.
No, go ahead.
On low power HF. And I've gotten out to both. Seacoast without any problem. I've also had visitors come in and ask me what I was doing.
so we'll have visibility that way, so we'll have to make sure we have banners and a visitors table too. Visitor sign.
And it's like a 20-minute drive south of here, so it's no major driving.
Yeah, it's no.
Okay,
Nate's gonna resend, when Nate has his domain back up, he's gonna resend that email that he sent out in January, so everybody has a refresh.
Okay. Well, we've got 4 more meetings that we can discuss this at too.
Yep, exactly.
but it's gonna be, I don't know, it's quicker than what we think. Which is normally what happens. All right, anything else for the good of the cause?
Yeah, I do have something here. We sent this email around to the board, but the rest of the membership doesn't know about.
Oh, yes.
I got a letter from Tom Bickett.
Okay.
He sent us a copy of an enclosed bill for 2 years of domain renewal for W0MG net paid by him. He's provided the club website hosting at no cost to the club since 2010. And he's also provided webpage services to towns, utilities, churches, banks, musical groups, and others. He's always provided for the web W0MG club web and email services at his own cost and zero cost to the club. As he is no longer self-hosting these domains since he's retired, he needs to give us 1 year's notice to find someone else to take over the web page and email services. He's willing to transfer domain control and provide a backup of the current website sooner if you can find somebody. But this has to be accomplished by July 1st, 2023. The board approved me to send Tom a check. I don't know the amount right offhand. It's somewhere in around $39 or $40 for the 2 years of domain renewal. That will be that was paid in February, I believe, so that will be reflected on at next month's club meeting. But we need to find somebody within the next year. I don't think they have to be Tom's not a board member now. He's been doing it. So I assume we just need somebody with internet expertise to take over that. So.
Does anyone know, is he running that actually on his servers in his house, or is it online?
I really don't know.
Until a couple of years ago, I think he was running it out of where his business used to be located, which would have been, but I think it's been changed to somewhere else being hosted now. So.
That's the difference between just someone else needing to take over for it and us needing to find a whole new hosting provider and migrate stuff in. Big difference.
Yeah. And I wish he was on the meeting, like he's down in Florida at vacation right now.
We should be able to find out some of those details in the next couple of months from him. Hopefully we'll move towards getting that switched over or something.
Yeah. Because I know the calendar is set up on Google, so that, and it's just, and that's pulled to the webpage from the Google Calendar, so, which I know I have access to and I can update, so.
some of that may be custom scripting and things that he's running on there that if we move it over to another provider, we'll have to find a way to be making those changes to the website.
Yes, we really do need to see about finding someone take over. And maybe do a refresh of the club's webpage anyway, because it hasn't been refreshed in over 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, we paid Thomas $40 because the board decided that we probably owe him more than that. No,
He didn't really ask. for the
No, and I don't know
money,
that he
but
did
I-
either,
But we felt that we should pay him,
I agree.
and so
Yep.
it's a unanimous decision.
Please, maybe talk with some of our new club members, some of the younger generation, and see if any of them are tech savvy and interested.
Don't look at me. I'm not web. Nope.
Al, do you want to mention what you're about to undertake also later this month?
Hold on, I've got some issues. I'm driving. What did you say?
I mentioned about the class you're about to start teaching.
I can tell you about it. I'm actually, and Dan Tice and Michael Tice, we're all going to go teach amateur radio to a group of middle schoolers at a co-op homeschool group. We're not sure how many students we're going to have or whatever, but of course we're volunteers, so we may get to get some young amateur radio operators going out of this.
So
And I will be on the 24th of this month doing my orientation as an instructor. So shouldn't be too bad.
and that's going to be on Thursdays.
Always, that's all I teach is on one Thursday. It's only 40 minutes, and I'm going to load them up with homework.
They're probably used to
So,
it.
yeah, they're used to it.
Anything else?
Okay,
Mr.
do we have
Brown?
anything else we need to discuss?
Okay. Anything from the people on Zoom?
Yeah. Is Curtis on board, or is he
No,
not?
no, he's not.
Okay, so the nano VNA thing will not happen. Curtis is having an asthma issue, just so everybody knows, and so probably can't talk. So I'm going to move that we close the meeting.
Second.
I don't necessarily think we need to close the Zoom meeting, but close the meeting itself. Do I get a second?
Second.
All in
Okay.
favor of closing the business meeting?
Aye. Okay, we're officially closed.
So I'll stop recording now, right?
Yep.
You can stop recording.